And it was really just the math, right? I mean, it's you have a learning rate of 85%, and then every doubling of capacity, you're going to see a 15% reduction in cost. They proved it. And that same approach applies even today. I got to listen to Bill Gates talk about the fact that, well, there's no equivalent to Moore's law in solar. That is wrong. The equivalency of Moore's law has been around since the 1930s, since Wright Aerospace first developed the concept of learning rates. And that's what applies. It applies to cost. Now, when Gordon Moore came up with Moore's law, he took that cost equation and had it applied to the number of transistors and transistor density as an allegory, or at least as an interpretation of really what Wright Aerospace's stuff was. And so, in looking back at it, God, of course we should have seen it. And you put this much money into the system, you're going to be able to invest in capacities that are really going to drive the cost curve down. And no surprise. But it really caught everybody off guard. I was in CPV for a hot minute, and things looked great. Great cost per watt AC. And then all of a sudden, the bottom fell out of the market in 2010, where you started to see low-cost, high-quality Chinese products coming on the market that made flat plate, fixed tilt PV super viable, and it was the turning point. But it's been interesting to see that, and taking those lessons and kind of applying it now to this PV 3.0 environment. Those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it, and I think a lot of us that are still in this game are wiser because of that experience and understand those pitfalls. And it's tough to take a capital intensive PV industry that some of those technologies were. And I grew up in thin film. I grew up in thin film silicon. We thought that was great. Well, it was a false set of business assumptions that made us feel good. Likewise, in the SIG space, there were some fundamentals that were in the science as well as in the economics that it wasn't going to play well in a ubiquitous crystalline silicon world. So, we're taking those and trying to